Good morning, everyone. Just wait till a couple of people hop on board. Welcome. This morning we're going to... Good morning, Ratto. We're going to do a little bit more of this quilt. G'day, Chris. Welcome to the Great Australian Craft Show, number 6. And today I'm going to go through a couple of steps that I'm going to do for the next part of this quilt. We sort of do the triangles in training. We're not really caring about points, which is great. And we're going to end up making a nice small quilt. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Gidget. Welcome aboard. So I can see there's a few more hopping on, so I'm just going to wait. Just to let you know, I still have some of the panels on in stock. Well, I've got quite a few of them, but not all the range. So if you're interested, I can tell you which ones a bit later on. I can pop it up on the page. I've used the wombat one for the first panel, which is right up the back there, and I'm now using the one with the two little possums and the frog. And I've also got in here the large kangaroo one. So that one's also going to be added into it. So we're just waiting. Got about 13 people on board, I can see. And what we're going to do is we're going to do that little border around the edge of all these that we did on the last one. So I'll just grab this last one. We're also going to do it around a large panel. So you can see it's a faux piping, so it's raised. I'll put my finger on it, under it I should say, not on it. And it's designed to just give it the look of piping, but without the hassle of putting a piping foot on and all that sort of jazz. I've also cut some at longer lengths by the width of fabric so that I can do them around the large kangaroo one, and that is going to be done today as well. So hopefully we can get that through that. I'll try and keep this to around about the half an hour, 40 minutes. But to start with, I just wanted to show you how I join them, how I put them on, how I pin them down. Good morning, Jody. Just to keep it nice and simple for you, I've cut all these blocks out of the panel sheet that we get, and I've then made them all the same size. Now, size-wise, let me get my little bit of paper. I think they're 12 inches square. Just let me chuck that on there. Oh, they're about 12 and a half, I think. Yeah, 12 and a half. All right, so to get started, hi Cheryl, how you going? To get started, I've already done some where I've ironed them in half. They're 1 inch cut strips, and these were from the fat quarter packs that I had. I do have one more of these left if anyone's interested, and I think it's about $50 for the pack, and it has all the colours in it that I'm using. But I only have one left. The blue was the hardest thing to find, so I did have enough to make enough packs for those who ordered at the time, and I do have one left. The panels, Jody, are the large ones, like the ones with the single animal on, or the single panel like this, are 15, and there's ones with the kangaroo. Then I think it's kookaburras, and another one with magpies, I think, off the top of my head. And the panels with the 3 smaller ones on them are 14, and the larger ones are 15. So to get the fabric to this point, I've cut it at 1 inch strip and then folded in half and pressed. My panels have been scrunched up in in a bag for weeks and weeks, so they're going to look a bit rough, but I do have a small little mat that I can use while we're online, and I can press them out as I need to. So I am working with the camera right in front of me, so you will see my hands sort of stretching in from the sides as I come around the camera. No props, Jody. So I've just turned the camera on, just moving my blade and scissors out of the way, and I do have a bit of wadding there I thought I might need, but I don't, because I found my little mat. Okay, so I'm just going to give this a rough once over, just with my little iron. I tried to order another 20 of them because I've only got 2 left. I've sold them all, and they've run out of stock. So there is another place I can get them from if anyone's interested once these 2 are sold, but they are about $4 dearer, so about $5 dearer. They're $69.95 instead of $65. These ones are $65 that I'm using. All right, so you've got your panel just sitting there, and you're placing this one with the raw edges facing that way, outside, okay? You don't want the raw edges in way because that would end up with a big fraying mess. So you can pin or you can clip, whichever one suits you. I happen to have a couple of clips here that I found. I've got about 10 in my stock. And you can just clip them in so that they hold while you're sewing, whichever one suits. And I have ordered these clips, but again, none in the country. So is that one of the 3 in the panel cut out on the borders? Yes, Judy, yeah, I've cut out those borders. I didn't like that sort of khaki brown colour they had, so I cut it off, as you do. So now I've got that clipped on, I have my machine set up. I do need to make sure that my needle is completely over so that I get a 1/4 inch seam. And in saying that, I'm actually going to be doing this seam here at 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so I'll move this out of the way so I don't set myself on fire. I'm going to lift the camera, and with a bit of luck I don't have you guys dizzy. There we go. Let's get the cord out of the way. Pop it there. Look at that. Like a true professional. Make sure she doesn't fall. If it does start to fall, I will have to tape it on, so you'll have to bear with me if it does start to fall. Alrighty, so as you can see, I haven't actually placed this right on the edge or anything. I know it's not the same length. I'm okay with that because I'm just going to cut them off, and I'll show you how I cut them off so that I don't end up with sorry, I'm just trying to get it to zoom in where I want it to. I'm going to cut off the ends, but I'll show you how I cut them off so that I don't get that like a peak look. Sometimes when I quilt quilts, you can see that the points of things start to come out like a point, like a peak, and that can make it very hard when you're quilting and trying to get things square. So putting my foot down, if I put it down right on the edge, my needle is going to be right over there. Now this needle or foot is it's not a 1/4 inch foot. I've just moved my needle over to the side. See if it'll zoom in there. I might just see if I can move it over a fraction. There we go. So taking out the first ones, I am just going to press start, and this is a walking foot, so it is going to move it along nicely. I do need my gloves on. I missed what you were making with the panel, a quilt? Yeah, loves, yep. So we've got 3 panels all up to make the quilt in total. 2 smaller panels and 1 larger one. All right, just take that one off as well. One thing you want to make sure you do is don't push things along. I'm just trying to get it to zoom in over there. Oh, now I touched back. Showed my neck. How wonderful. All right, so let's try and make this so without having it come off the fabric. It's looks like the bobbin's just cut off. To be honest with you, I don't think the clips are working for me. I'm just going to check this. Yeah, doesn't like that at all. So I'm just going to quickly pin this. Good morning, Lynette. Quickly pin. If you've got any questions, please feel free to ask. I don't mind any kind of question. Whether you think they're silly or repetitive, it doesn't matter. So the one thing I noticed with this fabric, it will fray easily, the panels, because it's so soft. It's very quick and easy to fray. So I'm just going to actually pin, and I'm pinning in an unusual way. I'm pinning as if I'm at the tailor way. So I'm pinning up and down, not across, just to give it a little bit of extra support. Good morning, Suzanne. So I'll try again, and I'm just going to move it over a fraction, just to about there. Move the needle over a little bit. Could you either just lock all around before you start quilting? Lynette, yeah, you could, absolutely. If you wanted to overlock it, you just have to make sure you don't overlock too far in, that you sort of destroy your 1/4 inch seam. Like I say, just steady as she goes with this. So this is really just like a basting stitch, just to hold on to it. Not really going to be anything useful, because once we sew the next, or the border on, it will disappear into the border, this stitch. So I'm not stressed over it. I'm just moving things, sorry. But I do want it on there. I mean, I could just pin it down and then put the border on, but I'm taking the chance that if this little fella moves, I'm going to have all sorts of trouble. So we'll just now, and if you notice, I'm not pushing or shoving it, I'm just letting it feed through. I'll just cut that off and straighten it out a little. A little bit of a wonky bit in it, but that's okay. It's on, it hasn't come off, and I haven't made a mess, so that is good. All right, have you got any pin cushions left, Jody? I have, actually, funny you say that. I was just looking at the stuff this morning and I'm moving things around. I've got 2 unicorns left. I was supposed to get another box of them. They're coming, apparently. I paid for them, but they didn't come in the post, so they're sending what they've forgotten to send me. Yeah, so but currently, right as this minute, I have 2 unicorns, and I have more coming, and all the bumblebees are already sold from back orders, so I hope that helps. Okay. The other thing too, because this is so soft, if you really wanted to, you could also put an iron-on interfacing on it as well, or, you know, say a pellin if you feel like it. Again, we get the next one and we're going to place it on. I'll just quickly pin that in place. And I'm not lining up top and bottoms, I'm lining up the side. I just want the side to match. So tomorrow at 12 o'clock, ladies, we have a sale on, and there is something special going to happen. So if you are around, drop in to the Facebook page, and you might grab yourself a bargain. I mean, they're cheap enough as it is, but let's throw another bargain in there. All right, you ready? Try and keep my fingers out so that way it focuses on the right bit. Didn't change my needle this morning, and I seriously need to. That's why it's making that tunk 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 noise. Jodie, I won't have a bumblebee. They're already sold, love. Sorry. So I'll only have the sloth and the unicorns left. And my hands, they're all dry and whatever from doing the gardening. It's funny because when you're a florist, your hands get like that all the time, like this. See how they get all grazed and horrible looking? And they come good after a few years, but then as soon as you do anything that's gardening related, it all comes back again. It's strange. All right, so that's the other side. So I've effectively sewn on both sides like that. I'll get the two, please. Yep, sure. All right, so that both sewn on. So I'm going to move you back over to the cutting board, because now we're going to trim a little and put on. Sorry, I'm just putting that charger back on over here. Trim a little and put on the next ones. All right. Just while I'm doing a demo, Jodie, it might be worthwhile sending me a quick PM, because I will forget. All right, just heads up with when I do these demos, and especially when I'm on my own, I easily forget these things. Just give that a quick press just to prove that it will sit flat. All right, so you can see here at the corner, see how it starts to kick out. So if you look at, see how it starts to kick out that way, it comes right across. So if I hold it straight, you can see it just starts to kick out. Now, if I don't watch that as I'm sewing, that will keep going, and each time it'll keep going and come into this horrible looking diamond shaped point. So you really have to be aware of those when you're pressing, not to press and push the corners out. All right. Next one. Now I'm going to move this, and I'm just going to trim, and I'm going to do a rough trim, and you're going to be horrified as I just roughly trim these ends. And I don't mind that there's a little bit left over, because I can trim them off in a minute nicely. Oops, today's a bit far away. All right, let's get rid of these. Then I'm going to grab my ruler, and I've said it before and I'll say it again, I love my 8-inch ruler. I can't tell you how much and how helpful they are. So I'm going to put the lines above here and make sure it's there, make sure they're straight, and across here. And that will tell me whether my panel is straight. And I can see by looking at this, it's not straight. So it doesn't take much for these to get out of shape. So I need to just give that a quick trim and hold that down up there as I come across. Move that away. Turn it around. You know what else is annoying me? These little fellas. They got to go. Little things. And then I'll come across this side and do the same thing. So just remember that my ruler and everything is in front of me and my camera is in front of me. So if I block your view, I apologise. I can't always see what I'm getting up to. All right, so I can see that there's a gap up here. I need to move it across. Making sure that my lines are straight, top and bottom. And take that little bit, making sure my ruler doesn't move. And get rid of that little bit there. Okay, so now that's nice and square. I like it. Even like that, it looks awesome. Now we grab another 2 of these. I'm going to have to press them. Okay. And we're going to do top and bottom, all right? And I'll just move this over, pop that down there. Again, I've already ironed these down once, but they've been crunched up in a bag. So just before I use them again, I'll do it again. I don't like ironing. So just quick press. And because I'm using little bits of fabric, like short bits, I don't get a join in these ones, which is nice. When I come to the big one, I might have a join in it, but we'll wait until we get to that point. So there's that. Again, we want the raw edge of this facing away from the center, like that. And this one up that end, which I'll pop there. I'll get my pins, because what's underneath there? Pin. Because the clips don't seem to work very well with that small fabric, so I'm just going to pop that there. One there. That little fella's a bit bent, isn't he? Just making sure I can see the edge. Come on, hold on. There we go. So just 1, 2, 3. Don't have to go overboard. And come up close to the top of it, just like that. This bottom one here, you want to just pop one right at the end, just to hold on to him, because that's the one we don't want it to kick out. So bear with me, I'm doing this the hard way. There we go. As we come along, we can make sure. So it's pulling in a little, so just release that. Anyway, when I get to the machine and I come close to that, I'm going to take it out just beforehand, but this will just help hold it all the way along. It's a bit better. Okay, so we're going to flip it around and do the other side, placing it in the central. Here. And I am making it look hard, sorry. And that one. And one more. Caught me. Okay, we've got him all pinned, and now will you be having this one as a kit? Lynette, I do have a pack of the fabrics that would make it, that would make what I'm doing here. just these extra fabrics that we're using. I don't have it as a kit as such, but you're welcome to buy the panels individually. I mean, they come, there's about 4 or 5 different types that I've got. And like I say, I do have one pack. I'll just grab it and show you. So it's got 6 meters of 6 by half meter solid fabrics in it, and 1 meter of solid, which is the blue, which are all the colours that I'm using, and that's a $50 pack if you're interested. I've only got the one, and I've pretty much, I think, run out of this blue. I might be able to get it again. I'm not too sure the way things are. But yeah, I've only got that one kit left. And then you can just choose because there's so many different types of panels, you can just choose which panels you want then. And you can, as far as actually putting all these borders on and that, you can just watch the videos, and I pretty much tell you as I go what the cutting sizes and that are. It's fairly easy. I'm keeping it fairly simple. You don't have to do triangles, you can just do plain borders, whatever you like really. It's up to you, which makes it personal for you. So again, I'm just going to move this camera up over here and pop it down. And make sure she doesn't fall. Be a good boy. And we'll sew these ones. Oops. And I might just turn it. Got the pins going the wrong way. Does it matter? That'll make me stop earlier, won't it? So with these top corners here, up here, what you need to do is just don't pull them. Let it sit nice and comfy and start off. That's why I leave a little bit over the edge. Start off the actual fabric. So start off the actual thing. I'm starting up here somewhere, not here. Yes, please. That would be lovely if you could put that aside for me, as if you have the koala panel like that, or the panel that you're making at the moment. Yeah, sure, no worries. Lynette, I can send you photos of what I've got left, and you can choose which ones you want. Don't actually have the koala one. They're still not in the country yet. I'm still waiting. But I do have lots of other ones. So, all right. So this will make me slow down. See how that still moves under there? So what you've got to really remember is just nice and steady. And as it comes close, just guide it to grab. You don't want to pull or pull this way, just let it grab on its own accord. Alright, and if you've got the pins facing the wrong way like I have right now, just push them up like that and they'll come out easy. Hold that down, and it's a very light hold I've got. I'm not pushing down hard at all. I was playing with plants before, and now I've got a bit of black soil on my hands. Sorry. It won't come off. So I don't want it to buckle, so I just want to make sure it sits nice and flat. There we go. But I don't want it to lose the grab underneath, that grabbing this underneath fabric, the panel fabric, if that makes sense. So we're coming up to here. I'm moving that pin and I'm going to place it sideways. See, like that? As I come up here, and I'm placing my finger, which you won't be able to see yet. I'm sure it'll zoom in on my hand, as it does. And I'm placing my hand, or my finger, just on there, so it doesn't jump around too much. Come up to that one and release it, and let go, and reposition. And make sure it's straight. See how it's nice and straight there? And as I come closer, see how it started to come that way? Make sure that your panel is straight underneath the foot. So if you need to, lift your foot. Because if it goes this way, that's when you get that diamond point at the corner. We don't want that. That's what we're trying to avoid. And there you go. That is a what they call a 1/8 seam, or you can call it a oh, there's another name they use for it. I can't think of it for the life of me. No, someone will remind me what it's called, where they have a small, really small seam. It's shy over a 1/4 inch. All right, so again, I'm off the actual panel. It can move around. I'm just going to place my finger there just till I get closer. I don't want it to jump and push and shove around. And I will change my needle soon. Now as I get close, push that up and release the fabric. You can see that it's a bit tight. Just want to hold it there. That top one's tight. And you notice I'm not letting my hands go until the needle's back down in the fabric. I don't know if you noticed. So you see it's still a little bit tight. So I'll just do a little bit at a time. So when I stitch and I press stop, I make sure that needle's down. I'm going to move this and replace it about here. Sorry, my fingers are in the way. And pop it down. And what you've got to watch is that it doesn't pull this way. You want it to still be on the edge. Sorry about the blurries. I don't know why it's focusing like it is. It's annoying. Alright, so coming up closer, let go of that pin. You can see this is going on a wrong angle, so I'm just going to straighten that up, lift up my foot so it's straight. Hold that there. I want it to zoom in over there and it's not doing it. There we go. So I'm going to try and hold that. As it gets closer, just feed it in nice and slowly. And that'll avoid those little triangle corners that we get, those little diamond shapes, and they pull out to an angle. All right, so we'll take this back over, give it a quick press, and I'll show you how I trim it again. And we will, because it's past, I will do some more off camera, get the next, and we'll do the next border. I just need to move this camera over. Shows you how long it takes when you actually do things, you know, the correct way. Shows you how long it actually takes to do them, doesn't it, when you do them properly? If it just takes that little bit longer, you can see it's all gathered and stuff. That's when we need to give it a press, just to, because we've got two different types of fabric. We've got one that's a percale and the other one is a lawn cotton. It's a lot softer, so it needs to just be educated that it can move a little. Give it a bit of an attitude adjustment. There we go. And I'm not pushing, I'm just slowly, I'm not shoving it out, I'm just slowly going across it. Okay, this one. And as soon as you press that, that will help. Flatten out that seam. Okay, so you can see that made a difference straight away. So if you don't, with these, not that I'm a big presser in between, but with these, because, so you can see how it's all gappy in that here, like it's sort of got that puffy look. That will get stitched down with quilting. We don't worry about that right now. Now, do these to do them properly. So you can see how they move, because that lawn fabric is so soft. We want to make sure we've got the line lined up with the bottom edge correctly and the top. And I've lined it up with the top corners of each one. And it will take off a little bit along the side, which I'm okay with. Get that out of the way. Might lose a bit of seam, but that's okay. scant 1/4 inch. That's what I was thinking of. You can see that one there is flicking up a little. So I just got to make sure I've got it nice and flat. The other thing too is with this fabric, if you find that you're having all sorts of trouble getting it to sit nice and flat, another way to do it is to actually starch it before you start using the fabric. All right, so that one there's come undone a little, but it's not a big deal. I can just pop a pin in this way just to hold it. Okay, now the next thing is to put those borders on. So I've got leftovers from my triangles, so I'm actually going to use these. So like I said, they've been in the bag, all completely crushed up. So I'm just going to give them a bit of a press. In the last videos, and Lynette, those videos are on YouTube as well if you haven't subscribed already, which I think you already have, but if you haven't, you can go there and find them. For those watching who haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do. There's one I've already made with the triangles. And another one. So I purposely made these triangles not match because I really didn't want them to look perfect. I want it to allow us to enjoy what we're doing and not stress about things sitting right. And as far as borders and that are concerned, you know, triangles, it can be the worst thing on earth to try and get nice and flat and points meeting. So it's just another kind of border I've got there. I've got a whole heap of these over here. So I'm just sort of deciding on what I want to do. These ones aren't too bad. I can run that over there. 1, 2, 3, and I might use that one, see how I go. Because I think I can cut them up again and make triangles out of them, or I can just use them the way they are. I discovered if you hold my stop-start button down, it was so really slow. I like this function. Yes. Yes, it will. Absolutely. Sorry, got to go and give bottles to baby kangaroos. Looking forward to the fabric sale. Yes. Yes, it's going to be fun. I've been on your... Yes, I did think that. Yeah. All right, so let's move these out and let's just audition these. We've got about 10 minutes or so to go. And we're going to audition this around here. Now, mind you, we're going to have like 3 panels across. So between now and the next one, I'll do the other little brown thingies on there. And we're going to just add these on. And I'm thinking that we can get away with having these like that. And I can just join these. And we can have some with triangles and some without. So I just need to have a look at how they sit and which way I want them to go. Or I can do more triangles. So well, let's have a look at them. So it's that way with those, with the sort of stripes. Okay. Or we go the way we did before with our funky triangles. What do you reckon? Funky triangles? Move that around the other way, like that. I'm thinking maybe, I don't know, I think maybe the triangles. So just having a look through my stash of stuff here and see what triangles I've already got made. I think I had some half pinned. Yes, I do. Yeah, I'm thinking the triangles, the funky triangles again. So I need 2 this length. And they will be cut off and made different sizes, and that's okay. I'm good with that. And then we need some that are going to be a little bit longer. So we're going to need the 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. Okay. What do you reckon? That looks good, doesn't it? So we can do those along there, just like I did with the other panel. Beauty. All right, so that one's got to be joined, but we do need to make a couple more. So let's do it. Moving this out of the way so I don't cut it in half. I did cut strips. Good morning, Faye. How are you? I did cut strips and then join them together and cut them on an angle. So they were actually joined that way, strips across. So I've cut strips and then I've cut them at a 45-degree angle, right? And at 2.5 inches wide. And I've just gone along. It's a very cute panel, Michelle. That's one of 3 in that panel. It's that one. It has the kookaburra. And he also has the little green tree frogs. That's that one. So what I might do is place it like that. Get my trusty 8-inch ruler. Turn it up the right way so I can see what I'm doing. And coming from this point way over here, you probably just see that. Keeping it straight, do that. Now, if I go 2.5 inches, which is what I need to do, I'm going to end up with all sorts of shapes. So I can go one more step and start the first one off about here. Right. Then I can go 2.5 inches and that'll give me my funky triangles. See how we end up losing points and all that sort of stuff? Isn't that awesome? And like I say, if you can't get your head around the weird triangle thing, that's okay. You don't have to do it my way. You can make it any old way you like. You can just put straight ordinary borders on it and I'm sure it will still look amazeballs. Whoops-a-days, not the camera. All right, so that, hopefully you can see what I'm doing because I can't see the camera, is what I'm doing, cutting it 2.5 inch strips that way. All right, so this one I know has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It needs 2 more. So let's put that one and that one on there. That makes that. Then we need another one with 8. So I've got 3 there. And I think I pressed this one before. And let's cut some more. Oh, I love the frogs. They're my favourite. A lot of people are going for the kookaburras, yeah. The koalas, and I do love koalas, but I actually really like that panel with the tree frogs. Frogs are good people. I can handle frogs. I could talk to frogs all day. People I don't know about. All right, so let's move it along. We all know what that's like. Okay, and another 2.5 inches. Now I can see that if I cut this here, and it's got a bit of a twist in it, this one. See, it's got a bit of a twist, so I'm going to turn it around and actually cut it square. It's got a bit of a twist in that, and that's just from sewing, cutting on angles and sewing on angles against the bias. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What do you reckon? I'm going to get it? No. Another one. Let's go. Let's get one with a bit of green in it. Cut that off there. And 2.5 inches. There. And that's 8. So the beauty of this, we're going to run over time. The beauty of this is that I can now add these on without worrying about which way my triangles go and whether they are points are matching or not. What I don't want to do is just add that one back to that. So we need to mix them up a little. So we need to turn them and just make sure that we're doing something a little bit different than what you would normally do. A little bit of a ear tag there. Just watch your fingers, Michelle. That'd be embarrassing, wouldn't it? Cut my fingers off online. All right, have a great Friday. Going to pick parcel today for you. Having a good day, everyone. Yes, you too, Faye. Thank you. Might even put that one there. That one there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That one down, probably that end. And that one there. So we're going to join them together. And I've done the same with these. I can just join them together. I just pin them. That one's a bit crumpled because of the bag, but I just pin them like that. Run a 1/4 inch seam straight down there, and Bob's your uncle. All right, so I'll go make these all off on camera, and I think we have another one of these episodes tomorrow, series, so I will get back to you with the next step after I've joined all those together, and we'll put them against the panel. Okay, see you soon. Bye, everyone.